I'm here in the studio today because it's Mac Z's video auditions. We're looking for girls.
Dance Moms, the most unexpected ALDC audition moments. Flashback Compilation, Part 1. Women dancing, the Dance Moms auditions that shook the ALDC. Women dancing. Drama. Tears. Shock. Betrayal. And, of course, dance. Over the years, we've seen some of the most unforgettable audition moments at the Abby Lee Dance Company, some that ended in glory, others in total disaster. Some girls walked into that studio and changed the LDC forever, while others were sent home with nothing but shattered dreams and Abby's signature glare. But what really happened behind the scenes? Who secretly fought for a spot, who had Abby fuming, and who nearly quit before their first routine? Buckle up, Dance Moms fans, because we're breaking down the most jaw-dropping, scandalous, and totally unexpected auditions ever. You won't believe who almost didn't make the team. Picture this. Abby Lee Miller is sitting at the front of the studio, clipboard in hand, completely unimpressed. The ALDC dancers are lined up nervously, waiting to see who's about to join, or worse, who's about to replace them. Then suddenly, the door swings open. A new girl walks in. The tension? Thick. The other moms are already whispering. Is she a threat? Does she have the technique? More importantly, will Abby like her, or will she be out the door in 5 minutes? And just when you think you've seen it all, bam. Abby pulls one of her famous last-minute switch UPS, leaving everyone shocked. Can you guess which audition moment we're talking about? If you remember, drop a comment below. Backhand index pointing down. We all know Abby isn't easily impressed. In fact, it usually takes something extraordinary to make her eyes light up with approval. But over the years, a few rare dancers walked into that studio and left Abby and us completely speechless. Some of the wildest ALDC auditions ever include Small Blue Diamond, a dancer who showed up late, only to blow everyone away with her technique. But did Abby forgive her for being late? Nope. Small Blue Diamond, a tiny prodigy who nailed every move, until the pressure got to her and she completely froze in front of Abby. Small Blue Diamond, a dancer who had the skill but brought major attitude. Let's just say she got a classic Abby Lee reality check real fast. Small Blue Diamond, a dancer who had an ALDC legacy, but Abby refused to let her in without proving herself twice as much. Who do you think had the most iconic ALDC audition? Let us know. Backhand index pointing down. Oh, you thought it was just about dancing? Think again. The ALDC auditions weren't just about talent. They were a battle. Collision moms versus moms. Who could forget the times the OG moms tried to block new dancers from getting in? The tension in that studio could have powered an entire reality TV network. Collision dancers versus dancers. Some auditions led to instant rivalries. You could see it in their eyes. Some of the ALDC girls were not happy about the competition. Collision Abby versus everyone. If Abby didn't like a dancer, she let them know immediately. The shadiest rejections? The ones where she didn't even bother to watch the full audition. Ouch. And let's not forget Collision, the secret backdoor auditions. Rumor has it that some dancers got a second chance behind the scenes. Did Abby have secret favorites? You didn't hear it from us. Winking face, some of our favorite ALDC stars almost never made it past their first audition. Can you believe that? Police car light dancer's name. Was this close to walking out of her audition because she was nervous? Police car light dancer's name. Only got in because another dancer dropped out last minute? Police car light dancer's name. Had to fight for her spot because another mom tried to convince Abby to cut her? Sometimes, the best dancers weren't even Abby's first choice. Face screaming in fear. At the end of the day, auditions aren't just about making the team. They're about making a name for yourself. Some dancers walked in as total nobodies and walked out as the next big thing. Some of the most unexpected glow-ups include White Medium Star, a dancer who was rejected at first, but came back stronger and became a standout star. White Medium Star, a dancer who had zero confidence in her audition but later became one of Abby's favorites. White Medium Star, a dancer who almost got cut from the team, but her mom went to war to keep her in. Just goes to show, never underestimate a determined dancer or their mom. If you think making it onto the Abby Lee Dance Company (ALDC) was just about talent, think again. Over the years, we've witnessed some of the most shocking, jaw-dropping, and scandalous auditions that left everyone, dancers, moms, and even Abby herself, completely speechless. From unexpected new arrivals to emotional meltdowns and behind-the-scenes sabotage, the ALDC auditions were more than just tryouts. They were full-blown reality TV moments that changed the show forever. So grab your popcorn, because we're about to relive the most unexpected auditions in Dance Moms history. Some of these girls walked into the studio as nobodies and left as stars, while others, well, let's just say they didn't make it past Abby's clipboard. Grimacing face. Abby Lee Miller was never an easy person to impress. But every once in a while, a dancer would walk into that studio and completely flip the script. Performing arts remember that one dancer who showed up out of nowhere, blew everyone away with her technique, and had the moms whispering in fear? The minute she hit the dance floor, jaws dropped. Abby didn't even have a sarcastic remark. She just watched, and you knew this girl was special. If you remember who we're talking about, drop her name in the comments. Backhand index pointing down. But the real question? Did she make it onto the team? Well, let's just say not everyone was happy about it. Over the years, we've seen some wild first auditions. Some dancers strutted in like they already owned the place, while others were so nervous they could barely introduce themselves. Here are some of the most unforgettable first impressions at ALDC. A dancer who had flawless technique but a major attitude problem. Let's just say Abby wasn't having it. Flushed face. A dancer who broke down in tears mid-audition, only to return stronger than ever. A dancer who was almost cut, but her mom went full dance mom mode to keep her in the running. A dancer who performed the wrong choreography, yikes, but still managed to impress Abby. Which one of these moments do you remember? And which one had you screaming at the TV? Oh, you thought auditions were just about dancing? Think again. At ALDC, every audition was a battle, not just against other dancers, but also against the moms. Fire the moms versus the moms. Some of the OG dance moms did not want new competition, and they made that very clear. Some even tried to convince Abby not to pick certain dancers. We see Melissa and Jill Eyes. Fire the dancers versus the dancers. Nothing was worse than watching a seasoned ALDC dancer side-eye a newcomer. Some of the older girls were not happy about fresh competition stepping in. Fire Abby versus everyone. If Abby didn't like you, she let you know immediately. The most brutal rejections? The ones where she didn't even let the dancer finish their routine. Ouch. And let's not forget the secret auditions that happened behind closed doors. Can you believe that some of the biggest ALDC stars barely made the team? Face screaming in fear, one dancer almost quit mid-audition because she was too nervous. Face screaming in fear, one dancer only got in because another girl dropped out at the last minute. Face screaming in fear, one dancer had to audition twice because Abby wasn't convinced the first time. And of course, there were dancers who should have made it, but never did. Crying face. Who do you think should have been on the team but never got the chance? Let's discuss. Backhand index pointing down. Not every audition ended in victory. Some ended in total breakdowns. Broken-hearted dancer who froze in the middle of her audition and ran out of the room crying. Broken-hearted mom who screamed at Abby in front of everyone after her daughter got rejected. Broken-hearted dancer who actually refused to audition because she didn't like Abby's attitude. Bold move girl, flushed face. Which meltdown was the most iconic? Let us know. Down arrow. At the end of the day, some dancers walked into ALDC as total nobodies and walked out as stars. Some of the biggest surprises? A dancer who was rejected at first, but came back and became one of Abby's favorites. White medium star, a dancer who was originally brought in as a replacement but ended up outshining everyone else. White medium star, a dancer who was so good that Abby put her at the top of the pyramid on her first week. Who do you think was the biggest ALDC glow-up? Thinking face, speech balloon, drop your comments. Now it's your turn, Dance Moms fans. Loudspeaker, what was the most unexpected ALDC audition moment? Loudspeaker, who do you think should have never made the team? Loudspeaker, which rejected dancer do you think deserved a second chance? Let's discuss in the comments. Down arrow.